Hey guys, it's Coach Emily from Bold and Badass Fitness, and I thought, because it's Friday, we would do a little story time session. I haven't told a motivational story in a couple videos, and I really love these, so what the hell, we're gonna do it again. And speaking of what the hell, today's story is about heaven and hell. It starts out, there's an old woman, she's in her very much later years, and she's visited one night in her bed by a genie that offers her, one wish. She says she's lived a good life, she's been a good person, she gets one wish before the end of her life, and she says to the genie, before she dies, she'd like to see heaven and hell. And I know, like, no patience, right? Anyways, the genie decides to grant her this wish, and first the genie takes her to hell, and they open the doors, and out in front of them is this giant banquet hall, this beautiful, amazing feast, rich foods everywhere. All these people are seated at this banquet hall, and she looks on at the people and notices that each person from the elbow down has chopsticks instead of a hand. And they're all sitting there in front of this gorgeous food, but nobody can eat because they go to feed themselves and the chopsticks are so long they can't get the food to their faces. So everybody's hungry and just sitting in front of all this gorgeous food. And her and the genie walk out of the banquet hall, and she's kind of depressed, and they go, they close the doors, and the genie they walk out of hell, the banquet hall. The genie goes, and he takes her to heaven, and they open the doors to heaven, and it's exactly, thank you, Lisa, it's exactly the same setup. They open the doors, there's a beautiful banquet hall, all these people are seated at the tables, and this time the people as well also have chopsticks from the elbow down on their arms. But she notices that everybody is happy, everybody is well fed, laughing and talking because each person is feeding their neighbors and is feeding the people across from them instead. They've learned to help each other eat, even in this weird scenario. What I like about this story, right, is it's not really about heaven and hell, but it's about this greater idea that we could all be happy if we could just help each other, right? That sometimes what I need is something you can give, and sometimes what you need is something I can give. And this principle really informs my choices. I really wanted badly, I think I've talked about this a lot, but I can't say it enough. One of the reasons why I started a gym, one of the things I really like about the business model they have is that we have the ability to help others. And as many of you know, we have an event coming up tomorrow night, Saturday evening on October 22nd. And this event will start with a workout. This is a really easy, beginner-friendly boot camp workout. We're going to do some partner games and drills, and I think you'll find it's a good way to just kind of get your heart rate up while mostly just having fun. So we'll start with that, and that workout's going to be a charity boot camp for Call to Safety. You guys may not have heard of Call to Safety. They used to be called PWCL, the Portland Women's Crisis Line. And if that sounds familiar, it's because the Portland Women's Crisis Line was the organization that we fundraised for 1 year ago at the launch party when we launched Bold and Badass Fitness. And we actually were able to raise $1,001 for PWCL, both between the launch party and between that first month. I donated all of the money I made in the first month of having a business to PWCL. And what I like about the Portland Women's Crisis Line is they're this really amazing organization. They're local, they do domestic violence advocacy, they run a crisis line, and what's cool is the reason why they changed their name from PWCL to Call to Safety is that they wanted to be more gender inclusive as well. So it's not just a crisis line for women, but for anybody who's in need of that help, and I think that is a really cool and really smart and savvy move on their part. So I hope that all of you can make it to this event tomorrow. We're really excited to get together to raise money for PWCL, to celebrate the first year, the turning of the first year for Bold and Badass Fitness. And then one other thing I wanted to mention in this post as well, because we are passing through the first year, is this PWCL thing kind of reminds me is like one of the pieces of advice that I was given that I'm really glad I didn't take in this first year is when I started to further define who I am and who I wanted to work with and what I think what we're doing here is about, there were a couple words that came up over and over again. The gym is body positive, the gym is feminist, the gym is LGBT friendly, and the gym is nerdy as fuck. I will tell you this last one, nerdy, was not a modifier that anybody ever had a problem with. Interestingly, that is not a controversial term. But for these other three, I was told by many people that that was a dangerous niche to try and be in because I would alienate people. I was especially told that saying the gym was LGBT friendly would alienate straight people that would not want to train here and feel that it was not the place for them. And I just wanted to throw it out there, that has not been the case at all. Our clientele is about 50-50, I think, at this point. I haven't really run the numbers, but what I have heard directly from people coming in, from a number of straight people, is that they chose to train here because it was an inclusive place. And I want to throw that out there, is like sometimes you get advice from people that about what they think you should do and how you should kind of structure your thing that may not be right for you. And I've found that for me, the more and more I define the community that I want to be part of, the community that I am a part of, the better I'm able to surround myself with people that make my life better. So I think Bold and Badass has really struck this interesting chord of being all those things, of being LGBT friendly, body positive, feminist, nerdy, and just a cool place to get your sweat on. So if you want to check it out and see what I mean by all those long jargony terms, I hope that any and all of you watching this video will come join us tomorrow night. Workout is at 5 p.m. for Call to Safety. Like I said, very easy. Bring a friend if you're not sure, if you're like, I don't want to run to the gym and have people tell me what to do and not know what it is. Great, bring a buddy. That way you'll be camouflaged. You'll have someone there to help you. After the workout at 6, we're going to start the party. There'll be food, drinks. There'll be a special game, a strong body, strong mind contest that I think especially the nerdier of us will really enjoy. And when I say nerdy, I do still mean barbell nerdy. So I hope you guys can make it. It'll be a lot of fun. We're going to have some cool prizes and just generally gather to celebrate the rounding the first year. You don't have to be a client, just anyone out there who wants to come and be part of our family. So I hope you guys have a great Friday night, and I'll see you tomorrow.